Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sports with Mong. And we're back with another banger video of the Singapore Grand Prix race reaction. It has been hectic, it has been sweaty, it has been everything that you would expect from the streets of Singapore. Absolute mad scenes. Uh, the first time that we've not had a safety car for quite a while, and that is surprising on its own. But we've had a familiar face on the top step of the podium with Mr. Max Verstappen sitting behind and hoping for damage limitation. Um, Piastri P3. I think I got my all. None of my predictions were right, but then the only thing that I'm happy about is like Daniel Ricciardo made a move, made a statement to his possibly final Grand Prix, the last Grand Prix, the last that we would have seen of Mr. Daniel Ricciardo, and that's going to be very tough to take, but that's the reality. I think he was emotional. He was very, very clear what's happening around him. But starting with the fact that Norris led from front to finish. At no point did Max Verstappen take the lead of the race. Norris pitted at the wrong at the time pitted after Max Verstappen and continued to win, to lead from the front. Norris P1 ended. Max Verstappen would be thinking, "What the hell is wrong with my car?" But then he has to understand that the Singapore Grand Prix has been the bogey track for Red Bull last year. They didn't finish. They finished P7. I think that was the only race that Max Verstappen lost. Carlos Sainz won it with Lando Norris behind him. Max Verstappen finishing P2. Oscar Piastri, this boy is just like, I don't know, nerves of steel. A new rookie. He drove last year, but then last year he didn't have the car. This year he has the car, and he's showing everybody what he can do with the car, putting himself in P3 pretty well. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton having a better day in the Mercedes, finishing P4 and P6 with a sandwich in between was the likes of Charles Leclerc. Yes, Leclerc was kind of sandwiched in the middle from the by the Mercedes guys, and it was also kind of understandable. They were struggling. Ferrari was struggling in the Q3 as well. They finished 9th and 10th after Sainz went into the wall, but the late surge from Leclerc, I think he could have got Russell, but then if they have a couple of more laps remaining, he would have. But then that was not the case. It was all over. Sainz finished P7. Fernando Alonso, he's just putting that Aston Martin into some really nice territory, some really great moves, defending for his life. But again, finishing P8. Nico Hulkenberg is a man that I love. He is absolutely just from the disaster of Baku, he moves on so quickly to the wonders of Singapore, finishing P9, and the last point, Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. He started P13th, and he could only get up to P10. And I think that's the big boat. I think that's a big red flag. I think Sergio Perez is under delivering in a car that could do better. Can we see Daniel Ricciardo kind of replacing Perez mid-season if he gets replaced by Liam Lawson? I think anything can happen, and that's what's going to be interesting. But I'm like, give me more here, guys. Like I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like I really want Daniel Ricciardo to continue, but the gods of Formula One might have different plans for him altogether. Maybe, maybe it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But get in the comments and let me know what you think. This was your 1 to 10 and the finishing the order of the race from P1 to P10. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Sports with Monga. 123 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The goal is to reach 500 and eventually 1 million subscribers. So audacious goals, but realism starts to kick in as well. So hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thank you for your support. I really hope you would continue to support me with my content. Lots of shorts videos coming through from the world of Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Champions League, Europa League coming through as well this weekend from midweek's games. So loads to kind of go through. But Formula One, I love to do the long form videos. So if you want to get interactive on them, hit the subscribe button, get in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the Singapore Grand Prix, about the Max Verstappen Norris battle. Do you think Norris can beat Max from the Drivers' Championship as well, or do you think it's too far beyond the realm right now? Constructors almost seems to be gone, but there's loads of talking point as well, because who gets the RB seat? Is it Liam Lawson confirmed? Does Sergio Perez continue to race for the father team, the Red Bull team, or will he be replaced as well before end of the year? Lots to get into, so get in the comment section below, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support, guys, and let's get into the second half of the finishers. P11, Colapinto. I think he's dangerously quick. I think he's dangerously unapologetic about his pace, about what he was doing. His move from the line on the start, on the outside of kind of the dirty line, and kind of almost telling everybody like, I'm here. I think that just was like absolute pure Max Verstappen-ish. Like, he's like, I have nothing to lose. I'm on the outside. I'm gonna try and maximize my results, and that's what he did. I think it was brilliant. I think it was just brilliant to watch him. Sinoda 12th, Ocon in the Alpine finishing 13th. Lance Stroll, I think he has a disastrous Singapore Grand Prix finishing 14th. Jogonio 15th. Bottas 16th. 17th goes to Alpine. 18th goes to our Ricciardo, who I think I'll come back to it. I won't talk back about Ricciardo. Finished 18th. 19th with Kevin Magnussen. I think he got DNF'd as well because he touched the wall pretty late, and then he had a puncture, left rear puncture. And I think they were at a point where they were like, why the fuck should we care? And that's what kind of prevailed, I think. I think they eventually did kill yeah, like, there's no point in repairing this damage. I think that's a fair point as well. So it's gone. And then Albon in the 15th lap, kind of having overheating issues. The engine was heating, the car was heating. I think they were like, okay, this is going to burn or something bad is going to happen. Let's kind of put this in the pit and figure it out. So I want to go back to that was the P20, that was the list of drivers. Get in the comments. Let me know who impressed you the most. I think I know who I was impressed by. I was impressed by Daniel Ricciardo bowing out and his final Formula One race, possibly in style, getting the driver of the day, getting the fastest lap, taking the soft tire at the end, and just kind of ripping it apart, finishing with the fastest lap as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna miss the Honey Badger if this is the final race. I would love to see him in Austin on a horseback doing crazy stuff. He loves Austin, he loves America, and I love watching him. So I would be really, really happy if he continues to do it. Daniel Ricciardo, please. Come on, Danny. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. So absolute madness scenes there, guys. Get in the comments, let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and let's go over the actual what happened during the race through a little bit more context. Norris dominates Singapore Grand Prix to cut Verstappen's title lead again. That's the headline here. Lando Norris converted pole position into victory with a charging drive during the nightlife of Singapore Grand Prix, finishing 20 seconds clear of Max Verstappen and reducing the championship leaders' points advantage once more. Norris banished the memories of previous poor starts from the front of the grid to slot ahead of Verstappen at turn 1 and controlled the opening laps before romping clear and spending most of the encounter in a league of his own. A couple of brushes with the walls inside. I think he was lucky. I think Lando Norris will say he was very lucky. He brushed the wall twice, but nothing nothing unaffected. Like there was no puncture, there was no damage, and I think he's super duper. Like I think that's what when the stars align for you, that's what happens. I would say with no answer to Norris's raw pace. Verstappen had to settle for a distant second position, while Oscar Piastri from the fifth to third. And lowly points finish for Sergio Perez means McLaren moved further ahead of Red Bull in the constructors standing. I think that's the problem. Max Verstappen is now fighting. It's almost reminiscent of Mercedes, right? In 2018, Mercedes with two drivers, both Valtteri Bottas and or Lewis Hamilton were finishing up on points. Sergio Perez put in a cameo once here there, but he was not constantly on the point section. I think that's the big concern. You need to have drivers who are able to put your car in the window for others to see and help the team. I think it's a problem that constructors will be lost by Red Bull because that they don't have two cars always in the top step or like above in P5. I think that's a big concern in my mind. But yeah, that's a reality, and that's a reality that Christian Horner knows. That's a reality that Dr. Helmut Marko knows. So it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of pans out. Hit the subscribe button, guys, if you've not still done yet. 123 subscribers. The goals get reached 150, 500, and starting with 150, I guess. Audacious goal of 1 million continues to be on my mind. So hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Sergio Perez? What do you think about Oscar Piastri? What do you think of Lando Norris and Max Verstappen with this FIA no fucks rule? It's going to be very interesting what happens in Austin. Piastri stayed out longer than anybody else in the first stint and charged his way past Mercedes pair of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell with fresher tyres, something Charles Leclerc, as the end of the late stopper, tried to repeat across the closing laps. Leclerc overtook Hamilton with relative ease, but could not quite do the same to Russell before the checkered flag, leaving a Ferrari man in the Silver Arrows sandwich. Teammates Carlos Sainz recovering from his qualifying crash to take seventh. Fernando Alonso added some points for Aston Martin's tally in eighth, with Nico Hülkenberg giving Haas something to celebrate in ninth, as he aforementioned. Perez, having been knocked out in second qualifying phase, completed the top 10. Franco Colapinto added to his impressive drives in Italy and Azerbaijan and en route to P11, just a couple of seconds away from Perez and points reward. Followed by the lead RB and Alpine cars of Yuki Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon, and the second Aston Martin machine of Lance Stroll. Kick Sauber drivers Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas crossed the line in P15 and 16, respectively, taking advantage of a difficult race for Pierre Gasly in the other Alpine, and a three-stop affair for RB's Daniel Ricciardo, who set the fastest lap after a late move to soft tyres. Alex Albon lost a hatful of positions in the start as he felt he was forced wide by Williams teammate Colapinto, later retired due to overheating car with the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, joining him in the DNF list at the end of the race after picking up a puncher. Norris punched the air in delight as the podium finishers pulled up in Parc Fermé, having cut Verstappen's title lead from 52 points to 59 points to 52. Meanwhile, depart Singapore with an increased 41-point advantage over Red Bull in the constructors. It is going to take something magical in the remaining races, and the races that are remaining. Let's get into them, guys. Six races remaining. Six races remaining. United States Grand Prix. There's a 3-week lull period. Absolute madness. United States, Austin is next. Then we have Mexico, Viva Mexico. Then we have Brazil. Then we are in Las Vegas, and then Qatar and Abu Dhabi, and the race season for Formula One. I think it only gets better. I think it's going to maybe 6 races, 52 points. If this continues, I think this won't be enough, because 8 points. If Lando Norris is cutting the lead by 8 points only, 6 races at 48, 52 is the gap. Max Verstappen will win they will win the Drivers' Championship by 4 points, but Red Bull will not win the Constructors' Championship. That's for sure. If Perez continues to do what he's doing, the gap for the the gap for uh, the lead for the constructors is 41 points, guys. So 41 points means both Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez need to finish the race in better positions to be able to give them a better chance of kind of continuing and getting the maximum points. But it all depends on where Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez end up eventually. I think it is also not too far to kind of assume where Ferrari is, because Ferrari is 441 points, 34 points behind Red Bull Racing. I think if it continues to be like this and Ferrari have some strong results, I think it's going to be interesting. But Red Bull will bring an update in Austin. I think Helmut Marko has said officially that it's possibly that they will take back this lead, and it's going to be interesting to watch. Daniel Ricciardo, what happens with him is going to be a big question mark. I think he's ready to kind of say goodbye, because that's what Ricciardo said also at the end of the race. I have to be prepared for this, being it him, as basically he said, I think. And he was tearful, right? A tearful Daniel Ricciardo admitted that Singapore Grand Prix might be his last appearance in Formula One, with the 8-time race winner left to reflect on a disappointing evening in Marina Bay. He said, you know, a tough race. Anytime you're out in Q1, you know you've got potential a long day. I had to try something with strategy, and you never know here after a safety car, it could work out in favor. Obviously, there wasn't a safety car today, so yeah, obviously a strategy then came undone. And I think it's just emotional to see him feeling the way he did. But before we leave, Lando Norris, 52 points behind Max Verstappen, the driver to beat, the driver on absolute crazy momentum right now. I think the Papaya team have the momentum with them. Lando Norris can beat Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship in my mind, if Max Verstappen doesn't improve in Austin. Get in the comments and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching Sports with Monga. Hit the subscribe button and let me know what do you think about the race. What do you think? Norris's lead, constructors. Will Daniel Ricciardo be replaced? Will Sergio Perez be replaced before Austin as well? Loads to get into, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Catch you in the next one. Peace.